keeps going on. But the basis of this is that we're really piggybacking on the managed service market. So the expansion of managed services instead of a break-fix relationship with your customers means that the market that online backup is already involved in is already at a tremendous growth rate. So it's just so new that there aren't good figures behind it, and we'll have to wait, for another year before surveys can complete and see how this has changed. Most of you and most of our partners are currently in the swing from purely break-fix to a mix of managed service offerings and break-fix, with the eventual end goal of being just a managed service shop. Managed services meaning you have regular recurring billing cycles with your customers for a package of services that you define, rather than you just making money and billing the customer for hours worked. A couple of requests to go a little bit through the HIPAA website and the CCHIT certification stuff. We can bring that up in a little bit, but we don't want to focus on what we're having here, and that's only one industry that we can talk about. Another question, will you be showing the interface and how it works? Absolutely. So we're going to do that towards the end. So those of you who have come on just now, we're going to go through the industry like we are right now, going through the service itself and the features and benefits, the competitive landscape, and then we will be going into the interface, both the administrative interface when it comes to what you get as a partner, and then into the end when we get to the actual product and using the product. Oh, Mike, don't be sorry. Everyone loved that topic. All right. So again, this is another graph of the adoption curves when it comes to SMB versus consumer and small office, home office. So again, just to reiterate the point, all the growth we've seen in online backup has been primarily through consumers, individual users, micro businesses who pretty much act like consumers. The reason for that is cost of migrating to new services and really just how conservative you are. Users are going to be more conservative than a small business as a whole. Maybe you have more people to get approval for these things. Oftentimes the big holdup for an SMB is that maybe they just spent thousands of dollars putting in some tape system, and they really are just going to let that thing run until it doesn't run anymore, and then once that relationship expires, then they'll move into something else. So looking at what you're getting and what we're offering with the SOS ServerSave suite of services, so to speak, is total business data protection. So an end-to-end solution covering everything from your mobile devices to your servers. So we're now one of the, if not the only, providers out there that can say, with our suite of services, you get coverage from mobile to server. So what that means is, again, we have the file and folder system, which we've been best in the business at for years now, 6 years running. And that can be installed at individual workstations, laptops. We're going to be releasing applications for our partners for mobile devices, such as the iPhone and the Android. And these applications not only allow for access to backup information, so you can preview or share, but also for backing up information from your mobile device. So this is really just speaking to getting through the whole thing. The TechCrunch just had a review where they showed that, one, risk management is on the decline because we came out of an economic good time, and now in the economic bad time, they're finding that a lot of the reason that people are going out of business is poor risk management. As many of you know, or whether you like to admit it or not, IT services is primarily risk management services. So what do you do when a machine dies? What do you do if a hard drive fails? What do you do if the internet goes down, if there's power outage? The businesses are looking to you and your team for these types of answers, whether they're formally published or not. So risk management plans, when things are good, get kind of thrown out as not that important because there's more flexibility to react to things like this. But then as soon as the economy swings back to an average or below average state, now all of a sudden there's less flexibility and there's less padding for the business to react to or withstand these types of risks. Sorry. So now you get to a point where workstations and laptops become this huge hole in your data backup strategy because there really wasn't any way of employing something there before. It's been estimated that 60% of a business's data in the SMB market currently resides on individual laptops and workstations, not on the central systems that we've set up. So despite our best efforts through terminal services and mandates in the business, you must sync up to our servers, we all know that users just aren't going to comply, and we have to have a solution in place there. And that's why we've been so good in our marketing and our partnerships and so important in every part of backup solution. And now we're bringing it full circle with adding server-based backup through full image backup. You're also getting exchange granular recovery, so business continuity and disaster recovery. A good comment here, social media backup. So more and more SMBs are using social mediums to market to clients, do market research, whatever the case may be. But I'm sure almost everyone in here can either identify themselves or a customer of theirs who uses Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, something of that nature for business. How do you back up that information? Well, we now have a Facebook backup application, which we will be relying on this application to back up the friends, followers, all that sort of thing. So over the next month, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, we're going to be releasing more and more applications for these social mediums. Good question here. From James, he asked, do you interface with ConnectWise for monitoring already or plan on interfacing with ConnectWise? Currently, we don't interface with ConnectWise, but ConnectWise does quasi-interface with us. So it's not a default program where we've actually done integration work, but ConnectWise monitors application events, and you can do that with our system. We also have a Pulse management system, so brings us up to the next point, centralized deployment, reporting, and remote management system. So we have our Pulse management agent, which is an agent-based program. You install it at each machine where you're running backups, and it'll report back on not just the application logs, but the specific backup logs. And we'll scrape our backup logs and give you information like numbers of files backed up, number of files not backed up. So Michael says, my business actually does a lot of marketing, and it's a huge selling point. Terrific. Well, that's great. Steve asked, do you back up Google Apps? Not at this point. So right now, the only application that we have built is the Facebook application, and it's SOS branded right now. And we will be making these things neutral branded for our partners to use. Michael says Google is evil. Take that how you will. Comments? Terrific. Okay, so getting more into it again, what are the specific agents that you're getting with backup? Again, and this just is just to summarize what we already talked about, but in nice pictures, specifically for you, Michael. Thank you for being here. So on the top, we have the cloud backup. So we plan on getting into Twitter and LinkedIn next, as well as Gmail services. Facebook is what we have currently. And it's not currently available to our partners, but it will be in the coming months. Back up your desktop life, laptop, workstations, huge, huge, important aspect of every business. All the data that people are working with is business data. So you got to make sure that you're protecting that. Back up your mobile life. So again, we have mobile devices that we use every day. So that's great. Right now, we have the ability to back up contacts and photos and movies from the iPhone and the Android. Not currently the Kindle. But the Kindle Fire runs on a Droid platform, so that'll be underway. A limited Droid platform. Your file data. So again, the file and folder information that we've always been really good at backing up. Then we've added application backup and system backup. So you can create images and then put those images offsite. Robert Hall has a great question. Robert says, how can I sell this to customers who want cheap products and don't have the funding? Well, I'll tell you what, our base partner offering is $379 a month, and that gets you a cloud or a terabyte of cloud space and 5 server-side licenses. So if you were to split that up and evenly across customers, that's something that costs to you of $80 a month for image-based backup, Exchange granular recovery, and 200 gigs of cloud space, whether that's just from the server or if that's across multiple stuff. So $80 a month to protect your business seems like a cost that you could still make some money on. So again, the big thing here is really to understand you got to protect your business, and these things are really non-optional. And you can, pull an ostrich move and put your head in the sand and think, well, we haven't really had a big data loss yet. But again, the big thing here is put together a formal risk management plan. Mario asked, did you say 18 or 80? 80 is what I said. So again, $379 a month for a terabyte of cloud space and 5 server-side licenses. Tony, we look forward to hearing from you. Again, you can give our partner specialist a call anytime, and that'll be good. Edith, one of our current partners who actually came onto the ServerSave program, so it's good to hear. Edith asked, if I couple this offering with other web-based products, will that cause a conflict of interest, such as medical IT support and server backup? I don't really see how it would. I mean, you need a backup solution in place, and you should define that. I have a couple questions about the webinar and a snipping tool to take snapshots of this. So let me just open up our main page here. And if I go to managedonlinebackup.com, which is our full partner, there's a sample risk registry here. So you can go through what this means. Anyone do formal risk registries for their clients? Anyone here currently working on getting some formal? And a risk registry is really just part of your managed service definitions. And this will just help validate things. If you want the deck that we're going through right now, and that's available right here, it's called Program Deck. You just hit that and download it. And then there's also a study by HP and SCORE that goes through what they recorded as the biggest risks and costs when it comes to data loss. Okay, getting back to this. Okay, so now we're bringing in a full circle package of services. So it's no longer just, oh, well, we have this tape-based system. Typically, when you walk into the SMB market, what's really exciting about this is that you're going to be walking in, let me go back here, and most SMBs, you ask them, okay, what's your disaster recovery plan? Do you have one? And this should be a document. This should be a document that someone could follow. BDR is something that has been marketed as image-based backup. BDR is image-based backup. It's typically the common use of the term. But a business disaster recovery plan is not just one strategy. It's multiple strategies. It should address multiple types of data loss and how you respond to each type. So business disaster recovery plan or business continuity services really requires a lot more definition and requires everything that we're showing in this circle currently. The majority of your SMBs, when you go in, will have some aspect of the top of the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, system backup and application backup. A small percentage of these SMBs are going to have some sort of file and folder level backup and recovery procedure. And then almost none of them are going to have some sort of workstation and laptop-based backup and recovery solution. and very doubtful that there's any cloud backup, as we're the only ones doing it right now. And the mobile backup is in that same respect. So we're really entering a market at quite a disruptive price. So you can go to all your customers, and all you have to do is ask, okay, well, let's see your disaster recovery plan. And you have a number of items listed out, and they say, oh, well, we don't have anything here, we don't have anything here. And you say, okay, well, you're still really exposed. We need to get these things in place. And you have a standard offering that you can put to your customers. So actually, let me go back to this. If I open up my example risk registry here, a risk registry, man, for those of you familiar, you put some, before you give this to your customer, you put some pretty formatting on it. But I just threw this together real quickly. And if you want more information about this, you can go visit pmi.org. This is documented heavily in the PMBOK, the Project Management Book of Knowledge, for those of you who are formal project managers. And it's also a good reference for those of you who are not formal project managers but have been doing it forever, to help get ideas of how you can